quickly realized that my method of feeding the bees, the sugar solution, is not working out so good. I'm introducing those mason jars into the hive. What I found this morning was the bees had formed all the way around the jar that I left in there, and it was really disturbing to gently get in there and get that out and replace it, and I don't want to do that again. So my sister has a couple of these feeders here. This particular one she let me use, I noticed, was cracked. So I'm going to use some JB Weld here. It's just a 2-part epoxy that you can use for fixing anything. We've even fixed cracked engine blocks on tractors with this before to fix this up. So let's get this little crack fixed up here real quickly, and then I'll show you how we can use this feeder in a way that we can keep this on the outside of the divider and not be interrupting the bees. So when I built this top bar, I did not take into consideration the fact that I would need to feed these bees. And my current method now of dropping a mason jar feeder inside is it's not ideal, because you have to get in and mess with the hive. I don't want to have to do that. I want to leave them alone and be able to feed this initially without disturbing them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that feeder we just epoxied, and I'm going to take this divider out, take it back to the shop, and cut a little trough in it so I can slide that feeder in and then change it from outside without disturbing these frames. So we're going to have to get in here again one more time and carefully pull out this divider. Which I can tell they're not stoked about. We'll take this up the shop and retrofit this so it will receive the feeder. Alright, the epoxy is setting up. Nice and hard, 5-minute set on that. So right here is we've got our divider, and so here's how it'll work. This will be, let's see, this will be to the inside where the bees are. This is to the outside with the extra space. You can see that this is designed to go into a slot and then rub up against this. So I've traced this out here. We'll notch this out, and then this thing will be able to slide in. We'll be able to change the bottle from the outside, take this out, introduce it back in with minimally invasive to the colony. So let's cut this out and see how it works. So now we have a much better system here. To the bees side here, and now we can come in, open the lid, come in from the outside, and simply slide that in here. And then we have a trough that is designed to help bees feed from. It's got the little steps so they don't get mired in the syrup and drowned, and then we don't have to get in and disturb the hive. As I said, simply take this out, replace, fill it up with a new one, and slide it in. A much cleaner system. I should have done this before. I just didn't know better. So lesson learned. Hopefully you will learn this lesson before you get your bees. So the sun's just starting to hit the hive this morning, and they're really starting to get active. So now I'm going to remove the mason jar feeder that I put in early this morning. Make sure there's no bees on the bottom there. Get them off. I want to crush them. And then we'll reinstall our end here. Alright, we'll take this feed here and go fill up our feeder. so these guys went through a whole quart of feed yesterday. Actually, more than that. I had to put some more in, so we'll transfer what we have left. Look out, little guy. Alright, so you can see here that this will run out there, fill up those troughs, and it gives this can be a lot more surface area. A lot more bees can feed at one time. So let's go install it. So I mean, you can obviously this is a much better way now. Now we can simply whoop! I see another design flaw. All right, easily fixed. These wings here. These wings here are too wide for the bottom, so I'll get my clippers and we'll clip these off. They don't need to be there. You know, this is a perfect example why I do these videos. No matter everything that I read and all the videos I watched, never was there any mention of this need to feed. You know, maybe it's my own fault. I didn't choose my reading carefully enough, but you know, now's not the time to be doing things like this. You know, it should have been done before the bees got here, but this is all I'm doing the best I can, and hopefully you will, if you want to get into this style of hive, or any hive for that matter, you're going to need to take this into consideration. So now we've got those wings cut off. Let's see if this will fit. So you can see obviously a much better system here, and much easier to change, and I can see much better for the bees. I'll take you inside, hopefully you can see this, but yeah, you can see the trough now. Lots of room, kind of a little watering trough there for them they can come to that's away from the hive. What I found this morning was that they had all gathered around, clumped around that jar, and I had to get, you know, displace half of them just to get the jar out. Now, this is not the way to go, so this is a better system.